the In This League Podcast Network.
Welcome in, friendos. This is the In This League Fantasy Football Podcast with Bogman and the Welsh. It's us today on the podcast. It is Mystery Mock Frenzy. This is like there's that new show. It's like The Maid of Samberdam or whatever it is on HBO. This is a murder mystery show. This is Clue. Who did it? Was it Bogman in the kitchen with a ratchet? Was it our boy? I don't even know who's in this mock. Was it Fam in the study with a candlestick? I don't know. We're going to find out today because a mystery mock draft was done in Patreon. Behind my back, I knew nothing of what was going on. It was a slow draft. 12 teams were drafted. Now, all I have is the evidence. I don't know who the mystery culprits are. I don't know who is going to be the winner. Bogman is behind one of these doors, as well as 11 other of our Army members. We are going to be breaking down this mystery mock draft with no knowledge of who it is. And then I will give my grades and we will unveil the mystery drafters on today's episode, Bogman.
It's interesting because I get to see where I am as far as your head is with the team I drafted. So I either get to be like, hey, look, we're on the same level. This is great. Or I am unbelievably insulted because you hated my team. Or
you're like, hey, we should own a high stakes league team together. Or no, we shouldn't because we're on completely different wavelengths. Right.
It's going to go to how great our flex draft is going to be together again, which is pretty solid last year. Yeah. When we did it together, I think we ended up third or whatever. So
we were doing really good. Yeah. Which I'm assuming will get put in the same team again by James.
I would just assume that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. We were hoping that we were going to get some belts and put together. But so I have before the show, I gave rudimentary grades to Bogman.
And we did a quick scan of all the rosters. Welsh gave out, the letter grades that we always do. Yep. And I made a list.
And we ranked them. So we ranked them out. So when we go through again and we unveil the grades, I may make some changes because interestingly enough, as we were going through, I had one team at the top. And then as we got to the end, I was like, no, I don't want that team at the top. But I did create some clear tiers. So we haven't had time to let these teams marinate, and have you really give a thorough grade, but we'll get more into it as we go. So and as we talk and go through the teams and the structures, I may even make some changes in my mind, but you guys are going to get that. So the mystery mock draft is here. It should be fun. And we'll see if truly was Bogman with the wrench in the study. I don't know if that's going to happen. I miss Clue. Wouldn't that be? Wait, let's play Clue.
Let's play. I mean, I don't know that I've ever played Clue in my life, to be honest with you.
Really? Oh, hold on. Let's see. Is there Clue online?
There's got to be an app, right?
Yeah, there is.
Clue app?
We could play Clue as an online game. We were talking about some online gaming here at In This League. And here it is. I think we're going to do it. It's on the Nintendo Switch, and we can get it on Steam. If I can get it on Steam, we're doing it, Bogman. We've just created it here on one of our game nights, which game night might be a new thing we're going to do on our Patreon. We are going to maybe play some Clue as we played Oregon Trail and all the other fun games that kids are like, hey, where are the lives? I don't need Fortnite. I don't need to watch Madden. Where's Clue online?
That's right. Yeah. Let's get some Clue going on. That's what everybody wants.
That. Well, if you guys want to get and be a part of all the stuff that we've got going on, come and check us out. Patreon.com/ITL Army. A brand new month today. You guys are checking this out most likely if you're a really avid hardcore listener. It's a new month, or at least a couple days into it. So come and sign up. We've got Bogman rank. What ranks do you have up currently, Bogman?
So right now I have today, as you're listening to this on the 1st, I'm going to be posting I've adjusted a couple PPR ranks here and there.
Updated PPR ranks.
Updated PPR ranks. Superflex is dropping today as well. And IDPs. And by the way, if you guys have been looking for it, the individual defensive podcast has moved from Fantrax to In This League. It's a new feed, I know, but I went through for whatever reason, Welsh, I was telling you this weekend, it didn't automatically link to a bunch of the stuff it's supposed to go to, Spotify, iHeart, blah, blah, blah. I had to resubmit to all of those, so it should be up to 90% of those. I think the only one that's pending is iHeart, but we know that one takes forever, as it always does. But yeah, so the individual defensive podcast back on In This League, and those rankings are out today. I just wanted to wait till the Black Book came out. So
pretty bad. Yeah, the Fantasy Black Book, our boy Joe Piazapia's book out, and Bogman is in it. You can check it out. But if you guys want to check us out on Patreon, you can get those Superflex, you can get those PPR, you can get those IDP ranks all updated for June. Boom. Plus, we've got group me rooms to come and hang out with our listeners and us, get direct access. We do live streams, check out special videos, and we even do comedy secret shows. It's a robust land that is the ITL Army Patreon. And when you come and do that, you are supporting us. You're supporting independent podcasters. That's why Bogman and I create content, and you let us know, hey, keep doing it and do more cool stuff. And we will do that. So check it out. Patreon.com/ITL Army. As little as $5, you can get the ranks and you can get the secret shows, and you go a little bit further, you can get in the group me room. So come and check us out today. Patreon.com/ITL Army. I'm very excited for the mystery mock draft. And I feel like, in the future, we've been creating more gimmicks. We have Mystery Draft Theater 3000, which we did for baseball, and we'll do again for football this year for the first time. But I feel like we need to get like a spooky background and like spooky music, and I'll have like items.
We need spooky vision from South Park when it's just Barbara Streisand's head in each four corners.
But I need to be like Daniel Craig from Knives Out. Like I'm trying to uncover the mystery, and it's just a bunch of you guys. I'm trying to figure out.
I still haven't seen Knives Out either, and I know that's really? Like Clue. I haven't. I mean, I know I've seen the Clue movie, but it's probably been 20 years. Yeah. So, apparently I need to get up to date on all my Clue stuff here.
Knives Out's pretty good, and the number 2, they are literally casting everybody. Every human being is in it, like Edward Norton. I can't even remember the list. It's just A-lister after A-lister is joining it. Yeah, Bogman's in it, 100%. I'm not, of course, I'm not invited, but Bogman is in it. So we are going to get to the mystery draft here in just a minute. A couple news and notes. Bogman and I argued and yelled at each other.
See, this is when you said I'm excited. That's what I thought you were excited for. Was this?
Yeah. Well, we've been arguing and yelling, and I've been yelling at Bogman, and I've just been poking the bear with Bogman a whole bunch over the last couple weeks about Julio Jones. And we have got more.
The Julio Jones subject, by the way, it's just like you won't stop. You won't let it go until I yell. Like that's how the last 2 shows we've done. We did an ITL football show, and you kept prodding me until I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
And then I think he gets
traded, but he's not going to get traded today. And then the same thing happened on the radio. I was like, I'm not going to yell this time. I'm going to be calm. And he just kept going. Like it was like 2 segments until I had to scream. And I don't think I'll be screaming today outside of my reenactment.
Oh, we'll see. But the best part about it is then once I get you screaming, then I stop. And then that's when I let it go.
And then you're like, okay, yeah.
I'm like, well, let's move on there.
Act offended. Yeah. I know what you just did, you jerk. I know exactly what that was.
So the argument has been about the hedging that Bogman has done about being like, he's not getting traded, but he might get traded. I don't know. Maybe it could happen possibly, but I'm not really sure.
I think he gets traded, but I thought it was going to take till training camp. And it seems like it is not going to take until training camp.
I do. And I think it's 100% he gets traded. The newest news, if you will, which I hate, and I hope it is a simple reason to push the 49ers, is 2 of the damn NFC West teams have now jumped into this and are in on the Julio Jones sweepstakes. The Rams and the Seahawks are in, but, and I actually pulled this up. We'll see where it's actually really at. But as you have written this, and most people have kind of figured, the Titans have now moved into the betting favorite, where the last episode we did, Boggs, the last freaking episode we did, the
Niners.
Patriots. No,
you're right. The Patriots.
The Niners had moved into it at one point. Then the Patriots moved in to the betting favorite. And now we are in a state where the Titans have moved pretty decently up. I have got, this is as of 2 days ago. So I think this might be the most recent. I could be wrong. It's really tough finding these odds, and I don't know why
the odds are changing every 30 minutes for Julio. It has gone from the Falcons were still the highest to the Titans to the Niners to the Rams on Sunday were the highest, and then back to the Titans. What is it at now?
Oh, so I've got it. So this is today. This is on Monday. A couple hours ago, this was posted. This is May 31st, and this is via Sportsline. So
okay,
we can deal with that.
That's
right?
TBS.
Sportsline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Sportsline, the betting favorite is the Tennessee Titans currently at plus 200. So that is the betting favorite for Julio Jones.
So you're still getting 2 for 1 to go to the Titans. So
number 2 is the Patriots at plus 300. And I said all the keys work perfect for the Patriots, just simply because
they have money, they have draft picks, it all works.
Yeah, because we did on the radio show, I think
Kevin Byard's going to have to go back unless they cut him or something in that deal with Tennessee because of the way the contracts worked out.
We have a show at ITL on Sports Grid, and on the radio, we went through all of the cap space, and the Titans don't have the cap space. They literally will have to trade Kevin Byard to make this work, but there were only a couple teams that really had the good cap space, the 49ers being one of them. But the Patriots, they have got the team that, they want. They've got better assets, I think, than the Niners. They've got decent cap space to make it work. So I figured they would be the number one. The Patriots plus 300. Now, here's a new development based on what you wrote, Boggs. There's another team that is plus 300, the Seahawks. Plus 300, tied with the Patriots, because over the weekend, there were some rumors that Russell Wilson is in heavy recruitment of Julio Jones and trying to make it happen. So the damn Seahawks are close to betting favorites. So your top 3, Titans, Patriots, Seahawks. Then it moves to the 49ers plus 500, the Ravens plus 6, the Raiders 7, Colts 1,000, and then it just keeps going. Interestingly enough, this has the Rams at plus 1,800,
which is funny. I'm telling you, Friday or whatever, the Rams, that's when the Rams rumor popped up and they became the betting favorite for like a day, or maybe it even was a couple hours or something. But everyone was like, I mean, they're ignoring the salary cap worse than you do in Madden. The Rams are like, how are they going to make this happen? It's going to have to be a very strange situation to get it to work. So I just don't see how they possibly make that happen. The Seahawks, I guess, but I feel like that's not going to happen either. I think the realistic ones are the top 3 that you mentioned, the Niners, the Titans, and New England. I think those are the top 3 that are realistic.
So do you believe wholeheartedly that Julio Jones will not be a Falcon in 2021?
Yes, I do. I think he's off the team now. Okay, well, you can take your victory lap, but you lose on Aaron Rodgers because he ain't getting dealt. So the GM came out today and said he will not trade him. So period, end of story.
Like, what's the guy from the Jordan thing? Like, put my hands up, like, I don't know. Okay. Maybe like you might be right about that still, but and I actually need to consider that in my grading of the mystery mock here with Aaron Rodgers, because he is a wild card right now. Aaron is.
He's not. I just said he's not a wild card.
No, he's a wild card because if they will not trade him.
Will he retire? Okay, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure the guy that took Rodgers took a backup, but yeah. I mean, it's as
long as that backup wasn't Deshaun Watson. But yeah.
I think it was.
I know. That's why I said that.
But the funny thing is here is that I think it was like literally hours after I said, I don't think he gets traded until the end of, or the right before camp. I think it's difficult. They came out and said, he's probably going to get dealt, this week, like right after June 1st.
Like we heard what Bogman said, and we just want to retort.
Honestly, I feel like I already won because he didn't get traded this weekend, right?
No,
he didn't get traded before the show where I said I don't know if he gets traded came out. So I feel like I should take a victory lap for that, since I didn't get. I mean, the trade stuff is what got me to give my phone number out too. It was the Jimmy Butler trade. Yeah. So it happened immediately. So I don't know. It still seems. I don't think it's as clear cut and as done as people are saying, because I think if it was done, Vegas usually gets a whiff of that, right? And the line moves way in favor to one team. We don't have that yet, so I think it'll be closer to the end of the week or next week that he actually does get dealt.
Yeah, but who cares? It doesn't matter.
But I mean, it's still a win for you because I said right before camp.
Yeah, so that's my big thing.
Yeah, it would have to be way before camp. Like I said from the beginning, I never said I don't think he gets dealt. I said 65%, which means over 50%. Yes, I do think he gets traded. I just thought it was going to be way more difficult, and obviously it's not. So
60% of the time he gets traded every time. ESPN's Jordan Rannon reports that the Giants could be limiting Barkley's snaps early in the season. This, Bogman feels, very Christian McCaffrey. Like, remember when they're
Yeah.
like, we gotta like have McCaffrey not play as much, but like once you have Barkley out there, you're not gonna limit it. Like, you're not gonna limit yourself. That's ridiculous.
This is what every coach says, right? Every coach says, well, we gotta give we gotta give our guys a breather. So they
S
got
in one hand,
they've got to just relax, but and look, in fairness to this report, which is, as you and I both think, it's a bit eye rolling, right?
Mhm.
They have been adding running backs, though. The Giants have. They signed Booker. They picked up Gary Brightwell for some reason in the draft, which I think is more for special teams. But they did acquire Raquel Armstead off of waivers from the Jaguars the other day, too. So they are adding some guys to this roster to potentially take away from Barkley. But I think this is all early in the season. What do you mean? The first 2 weeks? Because even then,
preseason?
Well, I don't think he plays in the preseason. I don't think you're going to see him out on a preseason field. So I think, okay, maybe you limit him in the first 2 games because of that. But when he looks healthy after the first 2 games, maybe you give him 15 carries and 20, and the next game he's getting 30 touches. He's Barkley. It's hard to take him off the field.
It's just not something I would just put into anything. It's just kind of nonsense in my eyes. The Athletics' Connor Hughes reports that the Jets have been rotating rookie Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, and Ty Johnson with the starters at OTAs, which is great. I know you have kind of been of the belief, and I'm with you, that Tevin Coleman is going to be a problem with the Jets. But to hear that Carter's already getting some of those first team reps, I think is a great early sign. And that's why I'll hold a little bit of weight to people that might be drafting Carter in these, because I think Carter's one of those guys you can have as a non-starter and in fantasy, and then this coming season could be a big payoff.
Yeah, I mean, remember what happened with Cam Akers last year. It took 6 weeks for him to get the starting job. He got the job, then he got hurt, and then it took him a little bit to get it back. So it was an annoying year, which is what I expect out of this Jets running back situation. It's going to be Coleman. Salah brought Coleman over because he has history with them, right? So, they work together in San Francisco. So what you're going to get out of Coleman. He's trustable. And I think that's why, and I have him ranked fairly high compared to other rankers, because I think he's going to be valuable the first half of the year. But I think if I had to pick somebody to lead the Jets in carries and yards right now, it would be Michael Carter, because Tevin Coleman is just, it's a sunset right now with his career. It seems like he's coming off of too many injuries.
I agree. Yeah. It's like the early on stuff, but I love if you can get Carter outside of like an RB3 and he doesn't have to be put in a position to start, he'd be one of those top guys. I'm very much for it. A couple bits of Washington football team news. John Keim reported that the team wants to be more aggressive, looking for bigger plays down the field. Cool, guys. But I hear that stuff and it's like, oh, okay. I know that's counter to all the other teams that are like, hey, guys, listen, we want to be a little bit less aggressive. We're looking for more short plays. Like,
well, these are the 2 things touchdowns. You have. It's either we want to throw the ball deep more and have more explosive plays, or we want to get back to the running game. Those are the 2 things that coaches say.
That's like classic old Madden stuff. Like, you're going to win the game, you got to score a touchdown. It's like, oh, okay. Thanks, Keim. But this plays in a role with it. He also reported that the team wants Antonio Gibson to run more pass routes in 2021, because I think at the end of the day, how much are they going to make him a workhorse as far as like carries on the inside, but stretching him out. It's so funny, dude, how long we've been doing this, and you see the evolution of just teams and how they treat certain positions, and just the running back position is slowly evolving into more hybrid. Statistically, it's been happening with guys like Christian McCaffrey and Barkley catching more balls, but you are literally now seeing more and more influx of teams moving players, not just to catch more balls, but to be physically running routes as wide receivers and being in more pass routes.
And
Travis Etienne was drafted in a role where they're like, we're going to have him primarily be a slot receiver.
So that actually is not true. Travis Etienne is going to be the running back, but they were saying that because of his shoulder surgery, Lawrence was having a hard time handing the ball off during camp, which is why they had Etienne only run routes, because it's his non-throwing shoulder, but he hands off with that arm. So they weren't having him hand. I'm just saying, this is what I was.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they had like one other quarterback that could hand the ball off so the guy could get his running back reps? What are you talking about? Oh, this one guy can't do it, so let's make sure you can't even play your position.
They did, but
ETN.
ETN was with the Team One offense, and so was Lawrence. So like that was the deal. So
James Robinson, he got his carries, but ETN didn't.
I don't know. I wasn't at Jaguars camp. I'm just telling you what I've read.
Your shoulder hurt?
Yeah, well, he just had surgery. He probably shouldn't have even been out there.
Yeah,
it's
don't be
a little
out
bit
there.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
but,
I don't.
But anyway,
I think it's interesting that
Antonio
more
Gibson was drafted as a wide receiver. Like the card said wide receiver, right? So when they got him into camp, they said, okay, we're going to work him more at running back, which made me a little trepidatious on drafting him last year, even though I did eventually draft him. But it was till we saw him in the preseason or we heard that he was playing way more running back because they didn't have preseason last year. We heard that he was playing way more running back than wide receiver in camp. So that was kind of the deal with him. So it makes sense to have him run more routes, but you also have J.D. McKissick on this roster, who was a guy that had over 100 targets last year. It was one of like 2 or 3 running backs that had that. So I wonder how much more he's actually going to run and how much more they actually just have him practicing. So it's going to be interesting between those two. But Gibson is a bigger part of the offensive plan this year, which is the point of this.
It's good when there are players like that. If they didn't want to give, it's like Kamara, like, you know, they may not want to run Kamara 20 plus times, but you can't keep him off the field. It's the same respect. Like give him 15, 16 carries, but also get him the ball, like, you know, 8 to 10 times in the air. It's a really good thing to hear from Gibson. Over on 49ers side here, NFL Network's Mike Garofalo reports that Jeffrey Wilson Jr. suffered a torn meniscus and is expected to miss the start of the regular season. And they're reporting that Wayne Gallman is currently the number 2 behind Raheem Mostert for now, which means literally nothing because they've got Trey Sermon in there and they've got Elijah Mitchell, and that should Wilson.
And who was Jeff Wilson before everybody got hurt on that roster, right? Same deal. So
I don't buy the way. I would be shocked if Wayne Gallman made this team at the end of the day, because how many running backs are you going to truly carry? And maybe if Gallman plays special teams and they don't want Sermon or anything like doing that, but that's nonsense news for me.
Yeah, I still, for me at the end of the day, I'm kind of with you. I like Elijah Mitchell so much. Mostert is obviously their guy, but he's had injury stuff. Sermon is their big back out of Ohio State, Oklahoma, and then Elijah Mitchell's in the mix as well. So this doesn't mean much right now. It just means Gallman is second on the depth chart for now, but I expect, and everyone else expects, Sermon to overtake him.
But also, just like Michael Carter, if you draft Sermon, you don't do it in that you're getting production from day one. You don't do it as like a flex option if you have a choice. Gallman could do a little bit of the Tevin Coleman stuff early on, but Shanahan has also shown as soon as a guy starts to break out and it starts to be successful in the offense, like they're going to use them pretty extensively. Like Jeffrey Wilson Jr. is good in the offense, and he gets used.
Sermon Mitchell would have to be pretty bad to not get any carry. One of them get some carries even week 1, because they do mix running back so much in San Francisco. But it's just Gallman is the 2 now, just out of experience. That's all it is.
Last little notes here. Free agent Le'Veon Bell said opponents were calling out running plays under Adam Gase,
which is hilarious.
That's hilarious. Like
and this does nothing for fantasy because it's no news on Bell signing somewhere or anything. It's just a funny dig at Adam Gase, and I wanted to throw it in. That's the only reason I put it on here.
ESPN's Diana Rossini reports that what a quote in a statement that we all didn't also think, but that Jaguars Tim Tebow could be using a Taysom Hill role this season. Like, cool confirmation, but yeah, that's what every single one of us thought. In the same running back receiver thing we were talking about, Darrington Evans apparently has been working as a receiver in team OTA sessions, so that's probably just another way for them to try to get playmakers the ball.
Honestly, I think that like all these running backs running wide receiver routes, it's just a way to get them involved, or let's just have them run routes and OTAs. A lot of guys didn't show up for OTAs, so having some of these running backs play wide receiver is not that surprising. But Evans was a true 3-down back at App State. Like he was their goal line back. He's a big dude. He's not Derrick Henry big, but who is, So I like him as the handcuff to Derrick Henry if you're drafting him this year. But interesting seeing they want to get him out on the field in other ways too.
Last little camp notes. Tua Tagovailoa says his surgically repaired hip feels 10 times better than it did last year, so it's a good sign. TennesseeTitans.com's Jim Wyatt reports that Anthony Fursker was the busiest pass catcher at Titans OTA. Might be those bigger 2 tight end type of leagues might be a good jump there. Anthony Barrow, more 49ers news, says that they seem to be relying on Charlie Warner, tight end, I think out of Georgia, to make a big leap this season, because the 49ers have been dabbling in this like 2 tight end need and want, that Warner could be one of those guys. And then on the free agent front, Todd Gurley visiting the Lions. He visited the Lions on Thursday. Awesome.
And it's Monday, and they haven't signed him. So
I wish they would have.
I think, oh God, please no.
That's what I'm saying. It would be so great.
Ugh, no, please don't do that. But yeah, I mean, he was so impressive that they still haven't signed him. So
no,
doesn't look like it's going to be anything coming from that.
All right, those are some news and notes for you to get you guys set for this coming week. Lots of little camp things rolling out here. But it is time for the mystery mock draft. We are going to get the participants on the table. We are going to look at how some of the teams are constructed. And then after that, I will give you my grades, and we will see. Really, the big key is going to be to see how I graded out Bogman. So let's do it. Mystery mock draft time.
The In This League Podcast Network.
All right, friendos, mystery mock draft. And I can pull this bad boy up here on the screen, because this is available on our YouTube, youtube.com/inthisleague. You guys will be able to see what we got going on here, and you can check out some of the fun stuff as far as this draft sheet goes. And the participants, Bogman. Now, you lay out I'll take this down for a second. You lay out the participants that took place in this mystery mock draft, so I can I got to figure out where Bogman was in this murder scene. So who do we have drafting?
All right. So obviously I'm in there, but in alphabetical order outside of that, just based on the names here is that we call them. Aaron is in there. Barrow, Braun, Chatty from Tucson, CK, Fam, Guthrie, RFP, Sean C, Tom Lee, and Worky are the other 11 besides myself.
So just based off of knowing some of our listeners, we have our listeners around, and they unveil things to us, their allegiance, really their homerism. That's really what it comes down to, their homerism. Over time, once we get into draft season, we do our live mock drafts, we see who people draft, and I kind of learn those things. Here's what I know. Whatever team, should do some early guessing, and without you telling me, whatever team Deshaun Watson is on, that's Braun's team.
Really? You think so?
Yep. Fam is going to have a cowboy heavy team. Guthrie will have Bears. RFP will have Falcons, and Worky will probably be the team that has Jalen Hurts.
RFP will have Saints, you mean?
Yeah. You're right. He's the Saints. I forgot. He's not an Atlanta guy. Yeah, you're right. Saints. So there you go.
You knew it was the South. You just forgot.
I just had the wrong team in the division. So, when we go over to draft results, I can immediately start early picking. And as we look at the teams, I will take some guesses. So Aaron, Barrow, I don't know if I know Aaron's draft style, CK's draft style, Sean or Tom Lee's that I could pinpoint. But or Chatty's. I mean, I know Chatty's baseball. I guess I need to look for U of A players, and I'll find Chatty's. But Braun will homer out with
in the NFL finding U of A players. So.
Braun will homer out with Texans. Fam will homer out with Cowboys. Guthrie with with the Bears, and then we got RFP with Saints and Worky with Philly. So Bogman won't homer out, but I'll look for wherever Julio Jones is taken and assume that's where Bogman is. So. Draft results, taking a look at the teams, Bogman. I'm going to share this on the screen here. Do we want to go round or by team?
Let's do the first 3 rounds.
Okay. So the first round of your guys' mock draft, Christian McCaffrey was number 1. That tells me nothing. Saquon 2, Dalvin Cook 3, Kamara 4, Derrick Henry 5. So far, nothing that tells me. Elliott 6, Chubb 7, our first tight end, Kelsey at 8.
Or the first wideout.
Oh, first anything. Yeah, first non-running back. Kelsey at 8. Devontae Adams at 9. Jonathan Taylor at 11. I'm sorry, 10. Tyreek Hill at 11. And Hopkins at 12. So 3 wideouts, 1 tight end in the first round. And nothing stands out. I mean, I will tell you that I look at Kelsey at 8, and that screams Bogman. But the rest of the team is not a Bogman team. So I'm going to eliminate that thought process here.
Okay.
I think this is pretty standard. When you saw this first round, Was there anything that jumped out as far as a player that did not get drafted or the position a player went?
Well, I think Kelsey being this high in the first round, I guess shouldn't be surprising, but he's just over the last couple of years has been a turn player instead of a really solidified in the first round. So I guess that was a little surprising. And, my rankings, I have Devontae just higher, but I did think it was going to be 3 wideouts. So it really wasn't surprising. So I would say not a ton surprising.
Yeah. I don't think it's too surprising. It shows how deep Jonathan Taylor has moved up. And, he's going before Eckler. He's going before Aaron Jones. He's in that elite territory. The wideouts as well. I don't know if I'm surprised Adams went. You feel better now because you are certain that Rodgers is not going anywhere. He'll either play in Green Bay or not play anywhere. So
honestly,
any of that
Devontae Adams is so good. Remember how good Hopkins was with just TJ Yates and Matt Schaub. You know what I mean? There are some wide receivers just transcend. It doesn't really matter. Larry Fitzgerald had success with, Skeletor or whatever his name was. There are some wide receivers that are just too good to not have success.
Oh, John Skelton.
Skelton. Yeah. Larry had all kinds of success with those guys. By the way, when we're off to the side, you're looking at your phone. It looks like you're staring down at me, by the way.
I'm looking down.
You look like you're annoyed at me. You're like, what are you saying here?
Keep going, Bogman. I'll keep looking down at you.
But anyway, the whole point I'm trying to make here is that Adams is going to be good, even if it's Jordan Love or player X throwing the ball. Yeah. He's still going to be really, really good.
Well, and the strategy that teams that team 10, 11, and 12 have is that quick turnaround. That I kind of like the idea of getting the elite wide receivers like they did, but I feel like maybe there's an argument where you're at team 9 and you go Adams is really good, but I guess it answers it because you're not getting Hopkins or Hill coming back to you, but passing up a guy like Jonathan Taylor, do you want to do it at that space? And to furthermore, the point though, is when you go into the second round, another wide receiver is not taken until the 7th, I guess
team
this would
7,
be team
6 pick.
Yeah, the 6th pick in the second round. So there's a pretty big gap of, I guess, 6 players that go. So in the second round, the Hopkins team took George Kittle.
So no running back to start.
So no running back.
2 rounds.
Yeah,
that's the last pick. So you got to wait a while to get one.
And it looks like it's an early start to
It's
0.
a dice roll.
It's a dice roll for sure. Eckler gets teamed up with Tyreek Hill, which I really like that start. Aaron Jones goes up with Jonathan Taylor. Najee Harris going with Devontae Adams. Bogman, that's very interesting here. But there is something clear cut that jumps out. Wow, boy. I'm in a early on. This team 9 reeks of Bogman a little bit, but there is one thing that jumps out to me that is a super not Bogman pick. And we'll wait because we're going to do a couple rounds here. So I'll let you know what that is, but make a little marker, Boggs, that currently team 9 could be
That's
Bogman.
The betting favorite. This is like Julio Jones odds right here. This is it's plus 200 now, but it might be plus 700 after a couple rounds.
See. So. Travis Kelce paired with Josh Jacobs, which I don't particularly like. DK Metcalf is the first wideout taken in the second round. He's paired with Nick Chubb. Then it goes Diggs, Thomas, AJ Brown, Ridley, and then the second to last pick in the second round is Antonio Gibson, which is paired with Barkley, and then Keenan Allen with team 1. So, this.
What's your favorite pairing from round 1? Is it?
I think it's Barkley and Gibson. Because we don't have, a ton of dual running backs. The Taylor and Aaron Jones is pretty solid as well. No, it's really solid. And again, I really like the Hill and Eckler one too. So I say my top 3 pairings, Elliott and Diggs is pretty. Henry and Thomas. There's some really good pairings. I think it's really hard to separate those, but I would say Gibson and Barkley right now because I'm going to just lean a little bit more running back. But I do think Hill and Eckler might be number 2. Especially from a full PPR standpoint. So then round 3, the first pick in round 3 is Cam Akers.
Solid. So that's a great start. That 1, 2, 3.
Akers, McCaffrey, and Allen. Darren Waller is paired with Gibson and Barkley, not a whiteout, which is, I like the move, but now that I
like
look at
that.
it, the next pick though is Justin Jefferson. And I don't know, man, to have Justin Jefferson over Waller. I don't know. I don't know about that. But see, now let me throw this out, 2 Boggs. I also think team 2 could be Bogman.
Okay.
So make a marker on that too.
So team 9 and team 2 are the leader to be Bogman.
And then, so when do you want to go through 4 rounds and then we'll start looking at the full teams? Because I'll give more reasons why when we get there. But there's an early marker that I think that could be a Bogman team as well. So team 3 has Cook, Ridley, and in the 3rd round gets Justin Jefferson, which is very good. Team 4 gets Joe Mixon to go along with AJ Brown and Kamara. Team 5 gets Dobbins to go with Thomas and Henry. Very interesting. And there's a pick down there that feels very Bogmanish. DeAndre Swift is paired with Diggs and Elliott. And I got to tell you, I hate it. I hate the investment.
Why do you, okay. I think you've taken a little too much off of Swift here.
But I would take Allaire over Swift.
Okay. And that's fair.
And I would take Miles Sanders over Swift.
Okay, so it's not really that you dislike Swift. It's that there are other options that you like better than Swift.
But also not just that. They brought in Jamal Williams and they're working out other running backs. I don't like that for DeAndre Swift. Maybe Swift is going to end up being, and you can make arguments, well, hey, Dobbins is going to share. Okay, but the team rushes 40 times a game.
Yeah. But I think Detroit might want to get to that, and that's why they're doing this. It's let's build from the offensive line, the defensive line. Campbell also said things about being physical and biting off kneecaps. I think they're going to run the ball a ton.
Great.
So I think they're both going to be good. But
are they going to do it with if let's say they sign Gurley? If they had Gurley, Williams, and Swift is the best of that bunch. But it doesn't talent. How much is talent going to matter if they're going to limit him to 15 total carries in a game?
It's going to be screwy, and a lot of people already don't like this Campbell.
So that's what I'm saying.
It's going to be
I don't particularly like my 3rd round pick to be paired with Diggs and Elliott, who are really chalk. Why would I go with Swift when there's upside with Allaire and Miles Sanders still? I don't. So that irks me. So now I got to think there's someone in here who is someone that would irk me. It could be Fam, because he got Elliott at the top, but Fam wouldn't have a choice. Like, you would have had to be lucky at 6, so it might not be Fam. So I got to look at who else would irk me. All right, Amari Cooper. Now, see, that feels very Famish. Paired with Metcalf and Chubb. Terry McLaurin goes with Jacobs and Kelsey. And then the final 4 picks of the 3rd round go Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's paired with Adams and Harris, Miles Sanders for a triple running back trio, which goes with Taylor and Jones, David Montgomery drafted with Eckler and Hill, and Chris Carson goes with team 12, who did not take a running back in the first 2 picks. So Boggs, team 11, I want to put an early look. I think that could be Guthrie.
So Guthrie is team 11 because he took one Cowboy?
No,
or one bear. Excuse me.
Absolutely. In the 3rd round. So
all right.
Trying to look at the teams and see if this is going to be tough. All right. So then the final look here. Let me go back to the draft results for the 4th round. Team 12 goes Patrick Mahomes. And
this is interesting. This is an interesting build from this team because we have Hopkins, Kittle, and Mahomes. So this is a hashtag top tier players team.
This is a very hashtag
Chris Carson in here.
It's a very hashtag top tier player team for sure, because he did that in 3 positions, which I love. It's just going to be, the rest of this. Julio Jones in the 4th round to go with Hill, Eckler, Montgomery, and wow. So see, this is where I
starting to get blurry.
It gets blurry because why would Bogman let Julio Jones fall that deep unless Bogman was in the top end of the 1st round?
Ooh.
Because there was someone he just couldn't pass up.
Is that team 2 you like from me here? The Barkley, Gibson, Waller.
You got Julio Jones really high, but I think you're in the top half here as I'm trying to find where in the world. Maybe this is where in the world is Carmen Bogmiego. All right. So Julio Jones goes to team 11, which is really strong, by the way. Allen Robinson goes to team 12, 3rd pick in the 4th round, team 10, followed by Mike Evans. Team 9 is really looking strong. CeeDee Lamb. Very famish. And Dak Prescott.
All you're doing right now is saying every Cowboy feels like fam. You've done that with every Cowboy.
Team 8, put fam down for me.
Team 8 is fam? Okay.
Yes. All right. So then after CeeDee Lamb, it went Raheem Mostert, Chris Godwin, very good 4th round pick, DJ Moore, Robert Woods, James Robinson, Cooper Kupp, and Travis Etienne with the final pick in the 4th round.
Etienne. All right.
Etienne. So do we want to take a look?
I guess real quick, just from the top 4, what's your favorite top 4 round start?
Okay. Favorite top 4 round start. I think I'd have to, Team 2 is still in the conversation because I like their first one. So let me just take a little quick look. Okay, to be honest with you, Team 12 has got to be in there because Team 12 has a monster.
You like the top tier players.
With Chris Carson, I'm not in love with, but you have maybe the best players, arguably, at 3 positions. So you're going to have to do a lot of depth. So I like Team 12. I think I like Team 11.
Okay. The Tyreek, Julio, Montgomery team.
Yeah. Let me look here. I think Team 9 too.
Team 9?
Pretty dang good.
That's the Adams Evans with Harris and Allaire mixed. Any other team you like at the top 4 start?
I mean, because I like it's Team funny, 2.
Just at your at your grades, you like teams kind of at the top of your grade system from when we looked before the show, and then you kind of like the start of some teams that you have lower also.
Yeah. Well, depth is going to be super important. It's not just about the top players.
Of course, absolutely.
It can ruin some of
these. It's
not
so, about hashtag top tier players. It's about hashtag team depth. That's what we want.
100% right. All right. So now, do we want to just list off what the teams ended up structurally look like?
Sure. I would read it more read it by position instead of by round. So
I'm not going to go round. I am going to read it by position. So I'm going to go Team 1. I'm going to go Team 1 here.
Well, if you just scroll down and it'll show the team by position. There you go.
Okay. So Team 1 ended up with Josh Allen at their quarterback, with McCaffrey, Akers, Etienne as the top 3 back. So Etienne is probably your flex. But look at this depth. Zach Moss and Michael Carter as running backs 4 and 5. I really like that. Chuba Hubbard and Puka Williams to finish out. Wideouts, very, very strong at running back. Keenan Allen, Brandon Ayuk at number 2. Okay. T. Higgins at 3. Hilton, Marquise Brown, Terrace Marshall, and AJ Green. So he fell off at wideout. It kind of sacrificed it a little more than I'd want, but Hilton as the 4th wideout taken could be sneaky.
And if the Ravens throw the ball more, Marquise Brown could improve a little bit.
There's a lot of upside there, and complete punt at tight end for Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah, that's a rough tight end.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough one. So I look at this team, trying to see.
So do you want to know where you had them when we looked originally?
No, because we're going to do that in the next segment where we do our rankings and stuff like that. I'm trying to see if I can guess who this is. I have no idea who drafted this team, so I'm going to take a guess. Maybe let's go Aaron S.
Okay. What do you want me to do here? Do you want me to tell you if you got them right? Do you want to tell me?
No, not till we get to the next segment. The next segment is where I'm going to give the grades and we're going to unveil everything. So
I'm just going to put your guesses here. So Team 1 is your guess is Aaron S.
Yeah. So Team 2, they had Kyler Murray and Tua Tagovailoa, Saquon Barkley, the number 1 pick, Antonio Gibson, Ronald Jones, Kenneth Gainwell, Gus Edwards, Todd Gurley, and Le'Veon Bell. That's a lot of running backs. Wideouts, Cooper Kupp, Lockett, Jamar Chase, Darnell Mooney, Rondell Moore, and tight end of Darren Waller and Evan Ingram. So this screamed a Bogman team to me for a couple reasons. But there's things I think that are off here.
Okay.
Ronald Jones, that's not a you pick.
Not a me pick.
I could see you liking Edwards late. The Todd Gurley throws me off of this being you so much. But then like Lev Bell, I could see you looking at him early. The wideout,
and I love Kyler. There's a lot of players. I'm big on Chase. There's a lot of players on this team.
That is why right there, Jamar Chase stands out to me. And you like early tight ends and Darren Waller. So this moment, I want you to put you. on this.
Okay, so team 2, this is our first guess for Bogman.
But
Team
I'm
2.
going to say a backup to this team is Barrow.
Barrow. Okay,
So if I change my
Bogman
mind.
and then Barrow as the backup. Okay, so far, here's your guesses right now. Team 2 is Bogman or Barrow. You had team 11 is Guthrie because he took Montgomery. Team 1 is Aaron, and team 8 is Fam.
Okay,
These
so
are your
keep going.
guesses.
So team 3 got Matt Ryan, and they got him late. They got Dalvin Cook, James Robinson, Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris, Rashad Penny, Alexander Madison, Salvin Ahmed, and Larry Roundtree. Really, really solid depth throughout this. Penny could be sneaky. Harris still kind of plays. Here's the only problem I have, because if I remember correctly, really strong. I mean, maybe 2 of the best wideout combos you could have in Ridley and Justin Jefferson as far as
That's
upside
strong.
goes.
Yeah.
Anderson, Pittman, Beasley, Gabriel Davis is fine. Noah Fant tight end is fine. But here's the thing
This is like a non-sexy, structurally sound team.
The thing I don't like is that you have Robinson and Hunt that both are in these shares. And it's okay because so many players are in it. Just like if I could have picked 2 players I wouldn't want a combo on a team, it's Robinson and Hunt. But here's the other thing. You got Dalvin Cook on top of it. So, you got some decent depth. I like your wideouts. I think this is a really solid team, but it has some holes in it. If I could pick, let's just go with a random, because this person, they knew their business on the running backs. So let's say this is you sneaky little bastards. Let's go Tomley.
Tomley. Okay.
All right. Team 4 got Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and Carson Wentz. Jesus, really going all in. This is 100% Braun. Because
okay.
Oh, wait. I don't see any other Titans in here. I think this is Braun.
Texans,
so hold on.
you mean.
Or Texans, I'm sorry. Got Kamara, Mixon, Chase Edmonds, Kenyon Drake, Kerryon Johnson, and Josh Kelly's really good running backs. Wideouts, A.J. Brown, Robert Woods, Kenny Galladay with Parker, Mims, and Hamler, and Kyle Pitts at tight end. And I think Pitts, he paid an 8th round pick for.
That's a great price.
I'm going to stick with Braun on this one because I think Braun respects what you have to say and knows how good you are on Pitts. And the Deshaun Watson pick, I just don't know who would do it right now outside of a Texans fan. So,
all right. So that's Braun.
Yeah, it's Braun. I'm going to go with Braun.
Your official guess.
My official guess. Team 5, Tom Brady with Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, Dobbins, Gordon, Mack, and Keyshawn Vaughn at running back. So they really fell off running backs here. So they have to have good wideouts, which they do. Michael Thomas, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Odell Beckham, Devontae Smith.
Good
then
Lord.
They've got Ruggs, Kirk, and Bateman with Dallas Goedert at tight end.
Man.
So this one, Brady and Burrow, good running backs. Great wide, 2 good running backs, but your flex, you're going to flex Odell Beckham. That's not bad. And you've got Devontae Smith still coming off the bench. This is a sneaky ass team. You know who this feels like, Boggs?
Who does it feel like?
This feels like Fam, but there's no Cowboys in here.
Would Fam do that? You also have team 8 as a guess on Fam.
I know.
Number
I'm not
4.
going to go. This feels like a Fam team.
So this is Fam, and we're going to switch team 8?
No. I'm going to keep Fam at team 8. I'm going to say this is Sean.
Sean. Okay.
All right, we'll go Sean. All right. Team 6. Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
Team 6 has Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield. This is Worky. Elliott, Swift, Mike Davis, Javonte Williams, and James Conner. Wideouts are Diggs, Godwin, Fuller, Gallup, Bowden, Hardman, and Slayton, and tight end is Logan Thomas.
This is the team you didn't like. Swift. This is not your favorite team,
but there are Cowboys. There's multiple Cowboys in here, and a little bit of an East bias. I'm gonna go with Worky. I'm gonna go with Worky because of Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so that is Worky. Got it.
Yeah. Team 7, Russell Wilson with Trevor Lawrence. Nick Chubb, Mostert, Cohen, Hines, and Mitchell. Boy, do I hate that depth. Metcalf, Cooper, Thielen, Boyd, Samuel, Tony, and Brown, and Robert Tonyan at tight end.
Oh, yeah, that's good wideouts and tight end.
I just don't have a feel for who this is, so I'm going to put it at CK.
CK. All right. Okay, that's team. Is that team 7? You said
that was team 7.
Okay.
So team 8. This is the team that I said I think is Fam, right?
Yes, this is Fam's team according to Welsh.
Prescott and Justin Fields. Uh-oh. Justin
could
Fields
be either one of
very
them.
Guthrie. Uh-oh.
But Prescott is very Fam.
Josh Jacobs, Gaskin with Singletary and Damian Williams. Oh, there's multiple Bears in here. No, you know what? Team 8
He's got CeeDee Lamb and Prescott too.
I know, but he did it to so that you know what that means? That has to mean Fam is over here. So because he's just trying to piss off Fam. So team 8 is Guthrie because there's way too many Bears on this roster. Because then you go to the whiteouts.
Team 8 is Guthrie. That's your guess. You're flipping Fam then. So now you officially don't have a guess on Fam then.
Yeah, so we'll get there.
Okay.
So team 8 is McLaurin. They have wideouts of McLaurin, Lamb, Claypool, Landry, Davis, Crowder, Rager, and Amari Rogers with tight ends of Kelsey and Cole Kmet. Interesting. Every bench player is a Bear, Bogman. Fields, Damian Williams, and Kmet. 100% Guthrie. No question in my mind. I will put all the money down that this team is Guthrie, and that is about knowing the people you draft with. All right, so team 9. I got to move this over so I can see it. Team 9 has Herbert and Stafford at quarterback. Running backs are Harris, Allaire, David Johnson, Jamal Williams, and James White. Tight end, wide receivers are Adams, Evans, Chark, Antonio Brown, Waddle, Gage, and Shepard with Troutman and Ertz.
This was the one you thought was me, but you like team 2 is me also.
I mean, this one
team 2 could have been Barrow.
This one screams you. It's got Brown, Waddle. We talked about Russell Gage. You're a big Troutman guy.
I am the Troutman guy.
Najee Harris is a Steeler, but here's what throws me off. Herbert. That's a weird you thing.
That's true. I wouldn't say I'm high or low on Herbert. I'm kind of middle.
This is more you. This is your new team.
This is the 9 is me. Okay.
9 is you. 9 is the you team. Now this
doesn't
track.
Are we going to make team 2? Is that officially Barrow? You have me and Barrow. You got to pick one.
But you know what doesn't track is why you would pass up Julio Jones with how you feel about. You think he's the greatest player in the NFL. Why would you pass him up at maybe thinking you can get him back for a layer? It just doesn't make sense. But I'm going to stick with it. So yeah, give Barrow now team 2.
Okay, so Barrow's team 2. I'm team 9. All right.
Yes. All right. So last couple teams here. Team 10 has Ryan Tannehill, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Miles Sanders, Leonard Fournette, Phillip Lindsay, and Darrington Evans. Wideouts are Allen Robinson, Juju, Debo, Brandon Cooks, Marvin Jones, Aguilar, and Perriman, and Hunter Henry at tight end, who's now with New England. This smells very brawnish.
So who have you not guessed though? You haven't guessed Chad. Do you have RFP? Hold on, let me look. You don't have Chad,
RFP team.
RFP, or you got Tomley. So yeah, those are the only 2 you don't have because you don't have a guess. Team 11 earlier you said was Guthrie, but then you changed team 8 to Guthrie.
All right, I think I know where I'm going. So I only have 2 more teams to guess.
Well, you have 3 now. So,
okay. Who do I have?
Okay, so right now you have. Did you guess? You did guess Aaron. You have Barrow, Braun. You guessed. Chatty is 1. Okay. You got CK for team 7. Fam, you don't have an official guess since you switched Fams to Guthrie. Then RFP. So Fam
is okay. I've got it. I got it.
Okay.
So who's not Fam? Who are the other 2 I need?
Yeah, 10, 11, and 12. So Fam, Chad E, and RFP.
So this team is going to be Chatty. Team 10.
Team 10 is Chatty. All right,
and it tracks because there's a Green Bay Packer in here. Some of the other stuff doesn't quite track. Team 11 is Fam.
Fam or RFP?
No, it's Fam. Team 11 has Lamar Jackson with Austin Eckler, Montgomery. That's to re-piss off Guthrie, who took his Cowboys. Trace Sermon, Johnson, and look at this little Tony Pollard action with Javian Hawkins. Wideouts are Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones, upsetting Bogman, Judy, Moore, Campbell, QT, Lazard, and Irv Smith at tight end. So some of it doesn't all track. And then the final team, team 12, I'm going to go with our boy RFP, who I think would definitely play top tier, hashtag top tier players. Mahomes. Oh, damn it. Right there screams Chad E with AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon? Okay.
Running back.
So you had Chad E at team 10 and RFP at 12. Are we flipping?
We're going to flip. Yep, we're going to flip.
Okay.
We're going to flip.
So team 10 is RFP and team 12 is Chatty.
Chatty getting Patrick Mahomes, Chris Carson, AJ Dillon at RB2, which I absolutely hate. Coleman, McKissick. McKissick's actually a really good pick. Murray, Darrell Williams, and DJ Dallas. Wideouts are Hopkins, Sutton, Chenault, Mike Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Edwards, Josh Reynolds, and George Kittle at tight end. So those will be my final guesses here, Boggs. I've guessed the names.
Here's the official guesses. So let me see. Team 1 is Aaron S. Team 2 is Barrow. Team 3 is Tomley. Team 4 is Braun. Team 5 is Sean C. Team 6 is Worky. Team 7 is CK. Team 8 is Guthrie. Team 9 is Bogman. Team 10 is RFP. Team 11 is Fam. And Team 12 is Chad E.
So
those are the guesses.
When we come back, Bogman is going to tell me how many I have right. We are going to get my grades, and we are going to unveil who they are. And, I know our audience can appreciate some of our listeners, but everybody really wants to know, where was Bogman's team and what grade do I give it on the mystery mock draft right after this.
The In This League Podcast Network.
Bogman, should I give my grades first?
Well, I think we should start from the bottom of your grades, and I'll reveal who had that team, who you guessed, who had the team, and then the grade you gave.
You know what, though? We might want to unveil before we get the grade so we can see what grade, so we can know exactly who the teams are as I graded them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here's the first question. How many did I get correct?
I have to double check here. So let me double check. So
that means I got some.
Correct. Yeah, I know you got a couple here.
Whoa, let's up and go.
No. Let's see. No. No.
So that's team 5.
Where's
team 6,
one?
No. Oh, I got team 6 right. If I'm just counting by your math of how you're doing this.
Yeah, I'm not going in the direction that you think I'm going. So let's see. Nope. No. Absolutely not. Yes. And also no. So you got 2 right.
Damn it. Okay, I got 2 correct here.
They were the easiest ones to pick.
They were the easiest ones.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
one of them is obviously Guthrie. So 3 Bears. Come on.
So I got my Guthrie. Okay, so let's unveil the 2 ones I got right.
Easy. Easy.
As soon as I caught the bench players in Fields and Damian Williams, this is team 8, by the way. Team 8 had all Bears as bench players. It's the easiest thing on the planet. I got and smashed Guthrie correct. Team 8 is Team Guthrie. Boom.
Now, do you want me to wait for your other team? I mean, I just think Guthrie was easier. Do you want me to give away right now you got the other team right?
Yeah, let's hear what the other team I got correct was.
Me. My team at team 9. You got me. I mean, that's just years of working together. The one that put it over for me, I think I could have thrown you off, but I wanted him, was Troutman.
Yeah, it's 100% what gave it away. The minute because I had you on the
other
team.
So I tried to back up Troutman, and I also think it was just a smart thing to do as far as this draft goes. So I backed him up with Ertz, who has been in some trade requests recently as well. And we're actually hearing that the Chargers have called. So the Eagles on him. They also have Jared Cook, but that one was just too obvious. And by the way, like 3 picks in, everyone was like, well, you took Najee in round 2. It's too obvious. Welsh is going to know. You're going to have to make other picks to throw him off. So, and the reason I didn't take Julio was because I took Devontae Adams one already. So I didn't have to have
you know what?
Julio.
The whole time I wasn't thinking about that. What's surprising is the Najee Harris thing did not give it away at all to me.
Okay.
I know you're high on him, but
I'm not. I'm not the highest on him. Someone has him at 6.
But you're not. But also, like, if you would have taken Josh Jacobs over him would have been silly to me. And all the wideouts, nobody else made sense. You got the best next back. Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones went before. Najee Harris did not throw up any signal. I mean, Adams and Harris, I'm like, okay, there's signals. Allaire was a little off of you.
But I like him this year because he's a value this year when he wasn't last year.
Maybe. But what threw me off was your middle picks of David Johnson in the 5th. I don't love. Chark.
I got to take running backs, man.
I know you do. I know you do.
Getting real thin.
But Johnson, Chark, Williams, and Herbert threw me the hell off. But you screwed up. You left your evidence so I could find the murderer here because your depth players I immediately sounded huge alarms to me in Waddle and Russell Gage. And then Troutman set it over. Troutman is literally what put me over to make it you. And
Troutman made it too obvious.
Had you not taken him, if you had not taken Troutman, I might have stuck you with the other.
I was screwed when you forgot that RFP was a Saints fan, right? That was what screwed me in giving this away because I thought, well, I'll take Troutman, but RFP's in this draft too. So maybe you're going to think that RFP is taking Troutman here, but I mean, the guys knew it. I mean, I took Antonio Brown. I took
Antonio Brown was such a huge Antonio Brown and Troutman were the 2 biggest giveaways, not the other stuff. It was not Najee Harris at 2. I didn't really think too hard about that one as a Steeler.
I'm more offended that you graded me out as the number 7 team in this draft instead of you guessing my team. So that's more offensive to me.
I did give you that.
Immediately being able to guess my team. You gave me the number 7 grade.
You know what? So. I did like your team though. And the more that I look at it, the more that I stare at it, I actually do like your team a decent amount. It's just, it kind of falls like you don't have a great number 2 running back. You don't have a great number 3 wide receiver. I'm not in Troutman like you are. And I like Herbert.
Pretty solid as a 3 though.
Yeah. But I like Herbert, but I mean, I would have rathered instead of Chark take Dak Prescott. I would have done that all day, every day over DJ Chark.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Debo went the next round. Claypool went the next round. I would have taken your team. That would have put me in a different space.
You would have taken Claypool over Chark?
No, I would have taken Prescott and then taken Claypool coming back or Debo coming back or Jerry Jeudy or one of those guys. I honestly don't think you'd have been that horrible off with Antonio Brown.
Remember, Dak went 1 pick ahead of me. So
Am I doing that right?
Yeah.
No.
Round 6. Yes.
No,
round 6.
No.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You know what? Right. You're right. You're right.
Chark over Dak Prescott. There's no way I would have done that.
Yeah, but I just wanted wide receivers. And at that point, Prescott, Wilson, Murray Aaron Rodgers were all still on the board. So when I took Herbert, Herbert was kind of the end of the tier for me as far as, Herbert averaged 26 points per game last year, which is a crazy amount as a rookie. So they're adding him in. He's going to have Eckler, hopefully more this year. Jared Cook is added to that mix as well. So I think he's probably going to get a little bit better. But you're right. After that, I'm high on Waddle. I'm high on AB. Russell Gage
your top 4
up my rankings. So.
Your top 4 is near the top of the best top 4s, then it just went off into places like I know you needed running backs, but I don't like David Johnson. It does suck that Gaskin went right before.
Yeah, I don't like David Johnson either, but I had to get a running back.
Yeah, so. I'm actually shocked that I only got 2 right because that means the team that took AJ Dillon was not Chad E, who's a Green Bay fan. So that is pretty shocking here. So let's go through let's go through who they were and then we will release the grades. I gave pre-draft grades on all of these. So let's find out who the actual teams were, who I guess team 1 and who they really were. We'll get down to the bottom and then we'll give the draft grades. All
right. So you want me to go team by team who the teams are?
So no, it's just team 1 I thought was who?
Team 1 you thought was Aaron S, and it was RFP.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he didn't give any signs. It's really good drafting. The first team is like one of the hardest. I think the corners are so hard to gauge.
The first team is the hardest.
Okay, so it was RFP. Gotcha.
Team 2 was, you guessed, Barrow, but the actual retail price was Chad E.
Oh,
Team number 2.
yeah, he had a really good team too.
And this is funny because we start you missed Barrow by 1 pick because he was pick number 3, who you had guessed was Tomley. So not Tomley, that is Barrow. Team number 4, who you also missed, was you guessed Braun, that was Worky. But team 5 was you guessed was Sean, was Braun. So team 5 was Braun.
Oh, see, I'm just, the Deshaun Watson thing just threw me off. Of
I mean, dude, Braun is done with Deshaun Watson. So like, he ain't taking Deshaun Watson.
It's just taking 3 quarterbacks. I don't know.
Well, he took Watson, or he took, I think, Rodgers first, and then he took Watson. And then he was like, well, both these guys, I got to take a third. So
I screwed up. He took Carson Wentz at the end. That was his quarterback. That was dumb by me. That's a bad detective. So team 5 was Braun. All right, team 6.
Team 6, who you guessed was Worky, who we now know was team 4, was CK. CK was that squad. Then Fam was the next team. What would that be? Team 7, who
is that? What I guessed?
No, it was Fam. The Nick Chubb, Raheem Mostert team.
Stupid Cooper. Cooper gave it away. And who did I guess?
You had guessed. Who was that? Team 7. You guessed CK. So
that was a screw up. All right.
Guthrie was 8. Who you got right? 9 was me. Who you got me right. And then team 10, you guessed RFP. That was Sean C. Team 11, who you had guessed was Fam, was Aaron. And then team 12 was Tomley. Top tier Tomley. That's what we went with for team number 12.
Tier Tomley. All right. So this was really fun. Give me the credit. I caught you. You in jail. Do not collect $200.
It's too easy. I did make it too easy.
I want you to know I won the game. Like the key is to find the Bogman. That's what this is. Find the Bogman.
Bogman.
Now, Jag, we need artwork. Find the Bogman.
This is like Waldo. Like, he's obviously wearing a red shirt. So
we've got to find the Bogman. I found the Bogman. I won, but we also had me grade these teams before I had really talked or look. I literally just stared at them, gave them grades. So now we're going to hurt some feelings potentially. And Bogman, are you ready to reveal the grades from, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do bottom all the way up to the top, or do you want to give
of course?
Well, yeah. I mean, it would be funny. You could give the best to the worst, but yeah, we'll go bottom to the top. So who did I give the worst?
The most insulted person should be Tomley at team 12. You did not like what, and this is what we did to start, right? We went ahead and looked at the team as a whole instead of where you were taking players and all that stuff, which is how it should go. But so you really liked his start in Tomley getting the top tier players.
Love the top 4 picks. One of the best top 4 starts, but it fell apart. AJ Dillon in the 5th round, Tevin Coleman. McKissick is your number 2 here. And I like that you got backs, but you didn't get any backs that I liked. I didn't like the whiteouts. Sutton and Shenault are both starters.
Sutton is fine as a starter, but you're 3. Between Shenault, Mike Williams is probably your 3 over Shenault, and then it's just a bunch of dart throws with
it. Literally might be the best top 4, but then the depth fell apart, and it's like those 4 have to carry you, and I just didn't like that. So I think I gave the lowest tier.
Yeah. All right. So you're and that was, you gave him a B-. You gave one other team a B-. So do you remember who needs to be insulted?
No, I don't.
It was Guthrie at team 8, with going Travis Kelce with the number 1 pick, taking Fields and Kmet. Too many Bears, I believe. You didn't like this Jacobs-Gaskin combo.
Yeah, the Jacobs thing is, the 2 running backs I just did not like. Jacobs he's still like solid and stuff, but they brought Drake in, and I liked Prescott. I kind of like some of the deep wideouts, but overall, I just didn't like any of the depth enough. And yeah.
Okay, we move up to Bs, and the B squad, 2 flat Bs and then a bunch of B pluses. Team 6, which was CK, the Zeke, DeAndre Swift, Mike Davis, because you hate DeAndre Swift. He made up for it with, like, the Swift one just irked me, but
there were a lot of other really good picks in here. Like Jalen Hurts could end up being really solid, but you got like Mike Davis is kind of sneaky, and Will Fuller and Javonte Williams. Like this could be even borderline a little bit better than I gave it. Just the Swift specifically is the one, like, in contrast to had you had got a layer or something, it just would look so much better. So,
and welcome back, Barrow. You are also at only a B, fourth lowest team in the
what
draft.
was Barrow?
Team number 3.
Oh, okay.
With the Cook, Robinson, Kareem Hunt. You gave up a bunch of B pluses here. You want me to just go through the B pluses?
Sure. And what are the B pluses? Are they like 8 through?
This is, let's see, what would that be? 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4 are all B pluses. So team 7, which was FAM, you had a 1 spot behind my team, which was, I guess he would be 8, and then I would be 7. Then team 1, RFP, you also gave a B plus to. Team 11, Aaron, got a B plus, and team 5, who was Braun, got a B plus.
Okay, so then now the top 3 teams on my quick glance rank, not knowing who they are, these are the people that should hit my Venmo up because I gave them all the love, are whom?
Coming in number 3 would be Team 10, Sean C. with an A minus. This was the 3 straight running backs. That was one of your favorites.
And, I actually wanted in the early set, I was going to give this a lower grade because of Tannehill, because everybody else has such an edge, but there's just so much depth at wideout and running back. It was just like, it's hard to play off it. And Hunter Henry could also be pretty damn solid. It was just a good team. Not sexy, but good.
The number 2 ranked team for the Welsh was team number 2, Chad E, with the Barkley, Gibson, Waller, Cooper start there.
I will tell you, I like the team. Not that now I know it's Chad, but I do like the team a little bit less, more looking at it, where I think it's a little bit more flashy than it is depthy. But like
I
Ronald
think this
Jones,
compares a little. This has a little bit of what you like, because he does have some hashtag top tier players. They're not the top tier in Waller and Murray, but you got studs at those positions. Plus you have Barkley. You got
Murray, Waller, Barkley, 3 absolute freaking studs, top tier. Chase has upside. You've got some decent depth. If I were being brutally honest and I could change it right now, I probably would move his into the B pluses.
Okay.
So I would.
Are there any of those B pluses from team 5, 11, 1, 9, and 7 that, looking back, you will now move up? So team 5 was Braun, the Henry, Dobbins, Gordon team with Thomas and Moore.
That one,
all those guys.
I really kind of like that team. There's so much, but the running backs fall off after 2.
Team 11, Aaron S with Hill, Eckler, Montgomery, Julio, Mark Andrews, Lamar.
Maybe that one. You know what? Maybe that one.
Maybe team 9 with Bogman with all the AB and all those guys.
I mean, I like the FAMs, but maybe yours.
The number 1 team, according to the Welsh, is Worky, even though you don't like what he did at quarterback with taking Rodgers and then Watson. Team number 4, going with Kamara, Mixon, Brown, Woods, Galladay, and then the 3 quarterback. That was your number 1 ranked team.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question on the starters. There's no question. Even though I hate the Watson one, I like Rodgers if you believe Rodgers is going, but you've got 2 stud running backs, 3 stud wideouts, a theoretical stud wide receiver. There's pretty good depth across the board. But I would argue that, like, I don't think it's hands down. I don't think it's hands down off of my early look on this stuff, because Rodgers is a little bit of a question. Now, if Rodgers is fully on there and then you put Kyle Pitts in there with those wideouts and running backs, he's doing really good. Really good.
I think what we learned here is, and it's not that different than most years, but it's better to pick on the ends than it is in the middle, specifically with that second round. We know running back is shallow this year, and still you had to take running backs in the second round wide receivers in the second round, because the running backs weren't good enough. I think, with some, looking back, maybe you don't take Josh Jacobs at number 8, maybe Guthrie doesn't do that, but Metcalf, Michael Thomas, Stephon Diggs are still going in there. AJ Brown. I might have even passed up on Devontae Adams as early as I went, just because some of these wide receivers are falling.
But don't you remember, that's what I said early
Thomas.
on, where I looked at Adams and I said, he's not worth it, but could you pass on Adams to get Jonathan Taylor to get that last little tier of high-end running back and hopefully come back? And if you don't get a top wide receiver, you're probably going to get another good running back.
I just think Adams fell too far. Like, Adams is a top 6 player to me. So I just think he fell too far, but I think if I'm picking on the end, I want to go running back to start. So,
well, I think the mystery draft is very fun, and a couple things we've got going on. We're going to have mock draft season is essentially upon us, where we do live mock drafts on these episodes. If we have new listeners, we do live mock drafts. They're crazy. There's cuts. There's we have to bleep out cursing. We do audio clips. They're very fun, and we do them with our listeners, and we do different structures. That is the core of episodes we do. We have some themed episodes. At some point, we will do a mystery draft Theater 3000, which is fun. And it kind of is in line with these mystery drafts because they're both little secretive sometimes. But I say we have another mystery draft come up at the beginning of July. And this time, Bogman has to find the murderer. He has to find the Welsh in that.
Okay.
So that will be an upcoming one.
That's the Superflex one?
No, I'm saying next month. At the beginning of next month, we'll have another mystery draft. And
well, we're going to have another one.
Draft.
We're going to do the Superflex.
I know, and that's what's coming up next. But I'm just saying, for the mystery stuff, you want to potentially be involved in it, sign up on the Patreon where we offer the chances to draft. We'll have another mystery draft coming up. But next couple weeks, we are going to be talking Superflex. We're going to be talking Superflex ranks and Superflex mock draft. That's going to be the next step. So make sure you guys are following along with us at Is It the Welsh at Bogman Sports, and of course at patreon.com/ITL Army, where you can get the sheets, because I believe in the next episode we're going to go through your Superflex ranks, and then we will have a mock draft after that. And then after that, we'll really be getting into kind of draft season and whatnot. So we've got lots of fun mock drafts. We've got specialty mock drafts, and we've got extra content for you right here at patreon.com/ITL Army. And if you guys wanted to watch, youtube.com/inthisleague, this episode will be up a couple days after, where you guys can check us all out. So Bogman, I won the mystery draft.
Congratulations.
Hey, I had 12 bullets. I hit 2, but I hit the one that counts. I found the Bogman, and I feel pretty good about it. So there you guys go. Let us know what you guys think about the teams. You can tell us what your favorites are, how crazy my picks are, and did you know where Bogman's was? This would be a very, what would be very fun also is to do a live one of these with audience members trying to figure out if they can find where Bogman is while we go. That would be another fun one. But that is it for us. Thank you, friendos, for checking out the In This League Fantasy Football Podcast. Subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Support, and we will talk to you guys again next week. Bogman, Welsh, we out.
See ya.